It's unlikely you folks know much about our town. Fact of the matter, you may have even driven through Berryville and not realize it. Berryville is one of those names that appear in the smallest type on oil companies' free road maps. A lot of towns are bigger, doggone few are smaller. All in all, an ordinary town. 25 after 9 in Berryville, first Wednesday in the month. School board meeting night. I'm Abe Streeter, editor and publisher of the Weekly Tempest, the town's paper. Haven't missed a school board meeting in 10 years. Quite a school board we've got in this town. Lucy Tupple. Her father influenced the architecture of this school building by kicking in with 80% of the cost of building it. Folks keep re-electing Lucy to the board, hoping she inherited her father's generous nature and someday will prove it. Matthew Mark, a little on the nervous side tonight. Titus Ferguson, board chairman. Titus usually makes all the motions and Emily Yonkers usually seconds them. And usually in that hat. Jeff Duffield, school principal, superintendent, physics teacher.
I assure you I've gone carefully into all of them, and this is the refrigerator I recommend. It's far superior to any of the others. Frankly, I can't see how you can help but approve its purchase.
Now, Jeff, we haven't said we wouldn't approve it.
And we haven't said we would either.
There just comes a point when, well, after all, money doesn't grow on trees, you know.
But the department isn't complete without it, don't you see?
I, for one, don't see at all.
It isn't as if we didn't have a refrigerator.
But it's 10 years old.
Mine is 13.
There now.
Well, now, here's where we stand on this matter. As we all know, this new refrigerator and food freezer unit are presently installed in the school. On a trial basis, of course. All we're saying, Jeff, is this. That we can't authorize their purchase just yet. As you can see, some of us question their, value. And feel perhaps that we're,
Gilding the lily?
Well, yes, gilding the lily.
But we can't continue on a trial basis indefinitely.
I'm ready to vote.
And I.
Well, now, I suggest that we defer final decision until the next board meeting. If you can present convincing proof at that time that we should purchase this, I'm thinking of something more convincing than, well, a drawing, Jeff.
I'm sure you'll think of something.
Right, we'll always out, I always say.
Right will always out. Of all the closed-minded people. You agree with them? Ed?
Who, me? I never disagree with anybody. Can't afford to. Hurts circulation.
But it's as plain as the nose on your face.
On your face, maybe.
And I gave them a whole bunch of conclusive scientific facts.
Yeah. Maybe that ain't the way to skin this cat.
What'd you say?
I said, maybe that ain't the way to skin this cat.
Eb, I think maybe you've got something there.
Yep.
Yes, I'm sure of it. Why, here I've been talking like a physics teacher.
You sure used a bucket full of big words, I'll say that.
And the way to prove a case like this is with results. Show what it can do.
Now you're talking.
Eb, I think I've got an idea. It'll take a lot of help from Miss Woods, but we'll put on a show at the next board meeting they won't soon forget. Yes, sir, Eb, I've got an idea.
Hi, Jeff. Too bad about Ruth Woods.
Oh, you've heard.
Miss Ruth Woods, our home economics teacher, was stricken with appendicitis last Wednesday morning in the middle of a class. She was rushed to Mercy Hospital in Spencer by Mr. Jeff Duffield, our school superintendent. Ruth is getting along fine, but won't be able to teach for a few weeks. According to Officer Hartley, Jeff made the 32 miles to Spencer in something less than 23 minutes. Jeff and Ruth were accompanied by Doc Jackson on the trip. Doc Jackson returned to Berryville by bus. Page 1, first column.
And that fixes things just fine. The plan Miss Woods and I had for the next school board meeting, it's done for now.
Well, I don't see why.
Well, I can't do it alone. I'm no food specialist.
Well, let the substitute teacher help you.
That's just it. There isn't anyone to substitute.
Well, what's the matter with Emmy Leavenworth?
Gone to New York, visiting her son.
Oh, yeah? New York, huh? Oh. Well, how about Hope Cullen?
Having a baby any day now.
Oh, sure enough.
I've been through the whole substitute list. Yes?
Grandma Rockwell.
Rockwell, out on Cat Creek Road. She retired from teaching years ago.
Holds a life teaching certificate, though.
But she was a history teacher.
Yep.
Well?
Doggone, that woman can make mighty heartwarming biscuits.
Oh, fine. This happens to involve a little more than heartwarming biscuits.
Never saw anybody could fancy up hamburgers so appealing. Marvelous cook, that woman.
Pretty good cook, you say?
I said marvelous. Well, she wins prizes regular as clockwork at the state fair.
Eb, maybe I thought of still another way to skin a cat. Mrs. Rockwell, I just can't tell you how much I appreciate your coming out of retirement and helping us out.
Nonsense. It'll be fun teaching again. And of all things, cooking. I just love to cook.
Yes, well, there's a little more to teaching home economics than just cooking, of course.
Well, I always say that a girl that knows how to cook will never have any trouble getting herself a husband.
I guess there's some truth in that.
There's a lot of truth in it, Mr. Duffield.
Well, perhaps you'd like to look over our home economics department, get all set for tomorrow.
Yes, I'd love to. Oh, my. But this is nice. And electric ranges, too.
Oh, yes, the best of everything.
You know, it wasn't so very long ago that I learned to cook on one of these. Not that there was very much to learn. It was very easy.
And this is the new cyclomatic refrigerator we hope to purchase.
Yes, I see. Oh, and this is that wonder oven I've heard so much about.
It's really quite amazing.
So I understand.
This, I mean.
Imagine bake and broil at the same time at different temperatures. And in the same oven. My.
I know you haven't used one of these before, and I thought...
Mr. Duffield, it's been a long time now since I used the old mill stream to keep my food from spoiling. I have a refrigerator.
Yes, of course. I know. But, you see, this refrigerator is so different.
Mr. Duffield, a refrigerator is a refrigerator, I always say. Now, don't you worry. I know all their quirks and their fancy tricks.
Oh, I can understand how you might feel that way about some refrigerators.
And Mr. Duffield, are you by any chance questioning my qualifications?
Oh, no, not at all. It's just that, well, you probably have a lot of old-fashioned ideas.
Yes, Mr. Duffield?
What I mean is, today we know better.
Oh.
Well, perhaps you'd like to look at the new food freezer we also want to buy. Perhaps you'd like to look at the new food freezer we also want to buy. Yes. Well, all I've been trying to say is that if you should run into any difficulties...
Mr. Duffield, in all my 30 years of teaching, I never ran into any difficulty I couldn't handle. And I assure you, I expect no trouble now from anything or anybody. I always say, girls, the amount of romance in a man's heart depends on the amount of fresh baked pie in his stomach. Now, the only way to have fresh baked pie in the house is to bake several times a week. A little more flour, Hazel. Now, girls, the best way I know to keep strawberries through the winter is to make them into preserves. It does take a lot of sugar, and of course it's not like having fresh strawberries, but it is filling.
Pardon me, Mrs. Rockwell.
Now, of course, it's cheaper to buy ice cream in large packages, and it is nice to have on hand. But land of daisy, we all know how it gets in refrigerators. That's why I especially like these meringues. They're ideal to use when your ice cream goes all soft and gooey. As I say, they're real lifesavers when your ice cream gets to be like so much pudding. Well, they're nice with firm ice cream, too.
Today's my mother's birthday. I almost forgot my cake.
Cake? Why, Pat, we didn't make a cake today.
Oh, I made this a month ago. Miss Woods taught us how well you can keep baked goods in this food freezer. Let me show you. Just thaw it out, and it's as good as fresh baked.
Evening, Jeff. Saw the light, I had to stop in.
Sure, Matt, have a seat.
Can't. Just want to tell you the latest, though.
The latest?
Yes, indeed. As a matter of fact, I just figured a way to settle the whole problem of whether or not to purchase the new refrigerator and food freezer. And in a most novel and decisive manner.
So?
Yes, indeed. Grandma Rockwell.
Grandma Rockwell?
No one's opinions in Berryville are more deeply respected.
I know.
And with Grandma actually teaching the home economics classes, it's just perfect.
Now, look, Matt.
I've taken care of everything. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. I've already persuaded Grandma to give her opinion at the next board meeting.
Persuaded Grandma?
Oh, it wasn't too difficult.
I don't imagine.
And on the basis of her opinion, the board will take action.
On her opinion? Her opinion alone?
Yes, indeed. I've already contacted every member of the school board, and we're in complete agreement with the idea.
But what if Grandma has some ideas of her own?
Oh, Grandma isn't one to put personal feelings above objective analysis, you might say. You have my word for that.
I wish I had Grandma's.
Huh?
Nothing, Matt, nothing.
Well, I got to be running along. Isn't that something, though?
It sure is. It sure is. It's not that Grandma won't give an honest opinion, but what'll it be based on? Why, she wouldn't even listen to an explanation of the uses of that new refrigerator.
Just tend to get a little set in her thinking now and then.
A little?
How about having the refrigerator salesman talk to her?
She wouldn't listen to him, especially now.
I don't mean a selling talk. Just explain the thing to her.
Eb, if she knows he's a salesman, he wouldn't stand any more chance. Wait a minute. I've got an idea.
Another one?
Maybe he can help.
But you just got through saying.
I have an idea. I'll be seeing you.
Hey.
Maybe I don't quite get it, but frankly, the whole idea sounds a little odd, to say the least.
Yes, I know.
You honestly think it'll work?
It's got to.
And you're sure you don't want me to explain the features?
I'm sure.
You have the story well in mind now?
Yes.
Remember, it's a food freezer and refrigerator in one cabinet.
Yes. Yes.
And don't forget that point about no seesawing temperatures anywhere in the cyclomatic, regardless of room temperatures, time of day, or season of the year.
I won't.
And the positive and automatic moisture control, that's important, too.
Yes, of course.
And the fact that frost is automatically removed before it has a chance to build up at all.
Yes.
And all foods are right at your fingertips.
Yes, we'd better go before she leaves.
Oh, and don't forget, it obsoletes all other refrigerators, regardless of age, make, size, or price.
Mm-hmm. A little more paprika, though. Keep on stirring.
Sorry to intrude, Mrs.
Oh,
Rockwell.
not at all.
Hello, Carol.
Hello, Mr. Duffield.
Mr. Haley. Mrs. Rockwell, a home economics teacher.
Well, I'm really just a substitute, Mr. Haley.
Mr. Haley's from Spencer, and he's quite interested in educational methods.
Really?
Especially in the field of home economics. And I wonder if you'd mind if I showed him around.
Why, certainly not.
Now, Mr. Haley, right over here is an appliance that will serve to illustrate the point I was making in my office.
But I thought...
Now, here is a new refrigerator we have in here on trial. Same with this food freezer here. As I said before, we approach the purchase of an appliance like this a little differently than, well, the average individual, let's say. Yes, no matter how nice-looking and appealing an appliance may be, we first take a careful look into the future before saying yes or no to buying it.
I see.
I'll explain what I mean. Carol there, for instance. Now, someday she's going to get married, have a home, raise a family, work with the food budgets, be responsible for her family's health and well-being. So we look ahead to the time when a girl like Carol might well use a refrigerator similar to this one. For instance, as a homemaker, Carol may well take full advantage of the time-saving practice of shopping once a week for food, because back in her home economics classes at Berryville School, she learned how to preserve many days' supply of food safely. Because of what she learned as a schoolgirl, she'll buy such foods as ice cream in larger quantities and know it will keep its flavor for a long time. Food right at her fingertips. Long before, yes, again, back in school, she learned that you don't have to grope or reach around foods to get what you want. Because she learned as a schoolgirl that fruits and vegetables can be kept crisp and fresh, she'll later take special pleasure in making some mighty nice-looking salads for her family. And because Carol learned in school how much better foods keep their flavor, their appearance, how many more vitamins they retain when kept at an even temperature of around 40 degrees, she'll not only avoid food spoilage, but will always have foods at their best for her family. She'll be clever, too. She'll bake less often, but she'll bake more at one time, because she knows how to preserve the quality and taste of food for days, weeks, even months. The same with completely prepared meals, all types. Yes, because she's smart, her family can enjoy a complete meal as fresh as the day it was frozen, at any time and on but a moment's notice. She'll freeze her own vegetables or berries in seasons when they're cheapest. Her family will enjoy them the year around, even in off seasons when they can't be purchased, or purchased only at premium prices. She'll remember the word defrosting as an old-fashioned word, knowing her refrigerator removes frost before any amount of it has a chance to collect. Yes, we take a look into the future, and then we ask ourselves, should Berryville School buy this unit? We use this approach to everything we buy for the department. In a word, we're after the answer to these questions. Will these things help us to better prepare girls to become successful homemakers? Will they help us teach them how to have more time for relaxation and recreation? Will they show them how to have more time to have fun with their families? If they will, then we feel they're worthwhile purchases. And of course, we want the best. After all, only with the best tools can one do the best job. That applies to teaching home economics as well as any other profession.
I'll certainly be interested in how all this turns out.
Yeah, so will I.
As I say, I hardly feel qualified in giving an unbiased opinion as to whether the Berryville School should buy the new appliances. After all, I'm just an old-fashioned grandmother. And we all know the reputation we have for closed minds. However, there is one thing I'd like you folks to see in the home economics classroom before you make your final decision. It might even help you to make your decision.
Well, if you really think it's important.
For pity's sake, Lucy. Certainly I think it's important. Now, shush.
Now, if someone will just put Grandma Rockwell's suggestion in the form of a motion.
Oh, tush, tush. What nonsense, Titus. Now, if all of you will put yourself in motion and follow me downstairs, why, we'll get to this thing.
Well,
Just take a few minutes. That won't be any harm.
Well, it won't cost nothing to look, anyway.
I hope you'll all enjoy it as much as we have been getting.
Here they come. Oh, are they coming? They'll help yourself, everybody.
Well, we sure will. Careful, you have to take yourself again. You know, it's really something.
What's this over here? If you have these in your white head, all you have to do is reach in the refrigerator and get it.
This complete dinner was prepared in only 36 minutes from frozen foods kept in the Cyclomatic ever since we've had it.
You see, Mr. Ferguson, frozen food should be kept in the 0 zone. All other foods keep better at around 40 degrees. And in addition, fruits and vegetables keep best in moist cold.
But what's this level cold business?
That means cold without any seesaw temperature.
Seesaw?
Temperature fluctuation, Mr. Ferguson. You see, foods just keep better longer when the temperature doesn't keep going up and down all the time. And the food safety indicator is daily proof that this refrigerator does maintain level cold temperature.
My, they come out.
They roll out, Mrs. Yonkers, and so easily, too. And not only that, but they roll all the way out. And not only that, but all the shelves roll out, even this one down here.
It really puts all your foods right at your fingertips.
What a show you girls are putting on.
It's really Mrs. Rockwell's idea. Of course, Miss Tully, our art teacher, helped out. So did Miss Woods.
Ruth Woods? Well, she's still in the hospital.
I know, but Grandma went to see her. Said she and Miss Woods had loads of fun thinking up all this. She stayed away after visiting hours, I guess.
Oh, I see.
That's right, Mr. Ferguson. This food freezer is completely separate from the refrigerator. It has its own refrigeration system. So does the refrigerator. This shelf area is cooled by this refrigero plate. Even the hydrators have their own refrigeration system. There are cold wall chilling coils in the back and in the bottom to give them super moist cold. The kind that's best for fruits and vegetables, you know.
Well, the girls...
Now down here in the refrigerator, excess moisture is automatically collected and removed by this refrigero plate before any amount of frost has a chance to build up, and without the use of heating elements, clocks, or raising the temperature, or the using of complicated electrical or mechanical devices.
But how do you defrost this up here?
Oh, that's the food freezer. And just like that one over there, you never defrost a food freezer with food in it.
You mean you don't have to adjust anything?
That's right, Miss Tupple. No manual adjustment is necessary. Level cold temperatures are automatically maintained regardless of outside temperatures. You know, that means like if whether the kitchen is real hot or if for some reason your refrigerator's kept out on, say, an unheated porch. Always in the 0 zone up here, around 40 degrees here and here. That's why vegetables keep so well here. Super moist cold keeps fruits and vegetables from drying out. Yes, Mrs. Younger. At temperatures above 40 degrees, the rate of growth of organisms, bacteria, and staphylococcus in foods increases tremendously. The cyclomatic refrigerator maintains level cold around 40 degrees.
Well, good.
I guess temperature near zero is important, eh?
Oh, yes, Mr. Mark. You don't have to go very far above zero before many foods like ices or some flavors of ice cream lose quality and taste.
Yes, indeed.
The best school board meeting we've had in years. Doggone if it is.
Yes, Mr. Haley, Grandma Rockwell. Talk about proof. I don't know where or how she got her information. What's that? From you? In Spencer? Your store the whole afternoon? But how in the world did she know? The sign on your car door. Oh, when you parked it in front of the school that day. What's that? She did? Well, I'll be hanged. Oh, sure, Mr. Haley, I'll be glad to.
I thought I'd lost my bag.
Grandma Rockwell, you and I are going to have a long talk tomorrow.
Oh?
Oh, by the way, Mr. Haley asked me to tell you that the new refrigerator you bought will be delivered Tuesday morning.
Thank you.
And I thought I was putting one over on you.
Imagine anyone thinking they could put something over on an old-fashioned grandmother.